So in the previous videos, we built up the chord progression, the melody idea, which was moved across to a horns ensemble patch, and then built up the percussion to build up the rhythm. So I've just taken all those parts and moved them down in the arrangement to create space for the introduction. And a pretty good way of starting off or introducing a song is to state the theme, but to use a solo instrument. And like in my template, I showed you I've got this solo horn set up over here. And this is just really a great instrument to use because it's a bit softer and more subdued than your ensemble patches. So let's take this melody line over here that's being played by the horns and copy it across to the solo horn section. And this is going to start at bar 3. So take a listen to just this horn. And now compare it to the ensemble horns. Second here is just a bit softer, has a bit more subdued character, and just gives a bit of a different tonal quality to the sound. Now just to give this part a bit more dynamics, let's record in some mod wheel data just so it gets a bit more expressive. So I'm going to jump back to the beginning and let's just expand this up and record the parts. So that's recorded in that mod wheel data and that's just giving it a bit more expression. Here's something else you can try. Go to where you can see your CC MIDI note data. And what you can do is take all the mod wheel data and take it down for some different tonal expression for your parts. You'll hear if you pump this up quite a bit. Gets quite raspy. If you drag it all the way down, it's got a sort of longing quality to it, so that works quite nicely. And what's pretty nice is to layer a sort of emotive piano over this line. So I've got this piano line over here, so I can just take this and drag it down and play it together. And it feels like this piano just needs to play the octave chords below it just to reinforce the part and just give you a hint of that chord progression. So that's the A. So let's record those octaves in. I think that'll work. Actually, I think it needs to be a lower octave. So let's just take that out and record that lower. So it's going to be here. Yeah, that'll work. So let's record that lower part in. That's pretty cool. So let's take everything, quantize it. Actually, with these notes, the velocities are a bit high. So let's take them, if you just take a look at the velocity lane, and drop them down. And what also works well with piano is to make sure that the sustain is all the way up, especially on an emotive piano here, just sustaining those notes a bit longer. I just noticed something a bit there. That's a bit early. Same as that. And just to fix those sustains, you do need to lift the pedal when you do the chord change. And I didn't record in the sustain because my piano playing isn't that great. Needs a bit of work. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw in these sustain parts. So just between each chord change, there's going to be a sustain pedal change. So just bear with me here while I just quickly go add them in. This just stops notes tailing off into the other note when there's the chord change. So if you're like me and your piano playing is a bit all over the place, then it's quite nice to go in and edit the sustains afterwards. Take a listen one more time. That's pretty cool. And one more element that works really well is a sort of low thud. I've got these low hits here. When you hear it, it's quite subdued, but you hear or feel that bass coming in. So this is just going to be playing at the beginning of the bar, then the next 4 bars, and just increases to build up the tension that's going to be going into the next section. So let's record this in. Another hit here. Just check the quantization. Now listen without the click. Awesome. It's sounding really good. So those low hits are just preempting you on what's to come. It's leading up to that big section where there's going to be all the percussion and the brass. So now that we've covered what's sort of happening in the intro, let's take a look at how we're going to write out the rest of this brass ensemble. Check you in the next video.